What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Dave's RC. I'm Dave. Well, I don't know. I don't know who I am today. I'm definitely confused. That's for sure. Um, I like everything was going really well, you guys. So I'm not gonna make this long. I just wanted to tell you exactly what happened, and then I'm gonna go try. I'm gonna go try to go to sleep, man. Um, just never in the 7 years that I've been doing this hobby have I ever had a day like this. Um, I've crashed planes before. Crashed the Avios MiG 17. That's why we rekitted it. What else? We lost my very first Saber. We lost. Crashed it in the woods. Some hunter found it and stole it from me. And today, because I wasn't paying attention to my tactic radio to see the voltage on the radio, it's not your anything below 5.3. Um, you should not do it. You should go recharge it. Should be like 5.8, 5.9 for that radio. I'm always usually really, really good about that stuff. Um, I actually even did do a small range test with it right before I took off. Probably should have done a more thorough one because if I had done a more thorough one, at some point in time I would have looked down and noticed that that voltage was at 5.1, and I would have been like, oh, no, 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 we definitely can't. No way, we definitely can't fly this thing on that. So the biggest issue at this point in time right now is I didn't find it. I was looking in the complete wrong spot. Rewatched the video, and I was way off. I wasn't even close. So I'll go back tomorrow. The girls started getting cold, so I decided that I said, well, I'll just pack it up. I told the guy at the pit, I said, if you come across it, just leave it at the house across the street. Tell him it's mine, and I'll be here at some point tomorrow. If you, he says, well, if we come across it, we'll take care of it. Um, but honestly, guys, that thing was about 150 feet in the air and went into a complete nosedive. Lost all power, all control of the plane. I lost the signal completely. My fault. Completely pilot error. My fault. Um, so before I use that tactic, 850 again, I'm going to go out and get a new lithium battery for it, because the battery pack that I have now is the one that it came with, and it really only holds a charge above 5.3 for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. You maybe get like 2 or 3 flights out of it, and you got to go throw it back on the charger. I usually make a habit of keeping it plugged in the truck, constantly keeping it plugged in between flights, and if I mess around with anything, I always keeping it plugged in until I go out on the flight line, and then I use it. Just not a really good day, guys. I'm not mad that I lost the Stinger 90. I'm not upset. I really, it doesn't bother me. What bothers me today is after that flight, I called Dave Marshall. My Spectrum radio was down at about 7.4 volts. I just wanted to double check with Dave to make sure that that was a safe voltage for a Spectrum to fly a plane with. We He did some research and came to the conclusion that yes, absolutely. When the Spectrum radio is about ready to die, it'll give you a warning and a low voltage warning, and then you pretty much got like 30 seconds to land. So I was well above that. Went to take off with the T-33, and right as I started to rotate, one of my flaps went up. Just out of nowhere. One flap, the right flap decided to go up. So when I rotated, it pitched to boom to the right. I corrected it as fast as I could. I ended up breaking the right side retract. And what else happened to that? The nose gear, that little metal post that holds the retract or the gear itself to the servo that turns it, allows it to turn. That little thing broke. So not a big deal. There's no damage to the plane. It actually came out without a scratch on it. It just really sucks that. What a horrible day. And then I was like, I'm I'm really stubborn and I'm kind of pissed off right now, and I don't want to leave this flying field until I at least fly something. Well, the only other plane that I had in the truck, you guys, was my Freewing 262. It was the version 2 that they put out with that old camouflage on it. You can't get that camouflage anymore, you guys. So it kind of makes it kind of unique. And I checked the voltage on the other radio because that one's in my other tactic radio. 5.8, 5.9, definitely enough. And then something right at the last second said, don't do it. I don't know, guys. I just chalk it up as I've done this for 7 years. I've never ever had a day this bad. Ever. Not even close. Not even close. I have never lost a signal to a plane. Ever. Even when my voltages have been low. I don't know. I've never lost a plane due to a signal loss. I'm not mad, I'm not angry, I'm not upset, I don't care, I'm puzzled. I keep asking myself, why? Something didn't feel right. This feels like some bad mojo. I can understand losing one plane, but then immediately going to take off in another plane on a completely separate system, completely separate battery, completely separate receiver, radio, and then that thing pulls one of the flaps up. That's weird. I've never seen that happen before. That was a weird one. And I flicked the switch a couple of times, this is weird. This is what was really weird. Right when I got up, I flicked the flap switch a couple of times, and they alternated back and forth like this. So I unplugged the plane, plugged it back in, and then flipped the switch again, and they both started going up and down together again. And I hate to say blue box, man. I hate to say blue box. But blue box, you guys. Blue effing box. And now that I think about what mine just did, and then I think about what Kenny described, how his violently just rolled for no reason, it almost makes me think that while he was in the air, one of his flaps popped down by itself, and that caused the plane to roll on him real fast, and it drove it into the ground. How ironic is that? That my plane, my T-33, told me something today. It told me that there's a good possibility that what happened to mine happened to Hangar 51s. I don't know. But needless to say, I did not fly my Freewing 262 because had I have put that one in the air and something had happened to it, or I lost that one somehow, I probably would have quit altogether. I would have been done. I would have given my RC channel to Eric Rogers. Sorry, I'll check the chat in a minute, you guys. I would have given all my planes to Eric Rogers. Sold my YouTube channel to Eric Rogers for like $5 and a pack of cigarettes. Unreal. Unbelievable. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much how the day went. I'm trying to figure out how I want to post that Stinger video. It's really quite short. The plane was flying great until I went into my second turn. I lost the signal to the plane, and I threw the radio up in the air real quick towards the plane, and I got the signal back, turned it towards me, started slowing down, and came into a turn like I normally do to set up for a landing. Got to my spot where I usually turn in to start landing. And right before I hit the left stick to start turning, you can hear the engine on the plane go, it's losing a signal right there. I know that sound. I know it. I know what it means. So I quickly threw the radio up again, and for whatever reason this time it didn't catch the signal from the radio, and I just watched her flying away. And I wondered, I was like, how long is that bitch gonna go by itself before it finally just stops and dies and completely goes dead? Well, as soon as I said that in my head, my answer came rather quickly, because I saw the plane go from going like this, and then it just went. And the only thing I could think was, please let something be salvageable. If if it's a receiver, a gyro, or ESC, even I don't care if the EDF's messed up. Please just give me something, right? Um, but yeah, guys. So I'm gonna check the chat real quick. Um, Man, and you know what was messed up? I was actually LJ. I was actually watching some of your videos today, that were some of your crash videos today, and I was thinking to myself, damn man, that would suck if that happened to me. I'm actually feeling bad for you, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Sometimes you just have a bad day. I understand, man, but today, for some weird reason, today felt different. Today felt like almost like somebody like cursed me, or somebody that was with me had some bad juju or some bad mojo. I actually brought my daughter and her friend Mackenzie. Mackenzie's never seen one of these jets fly, um, and she was super excited to see it fly. I was really excited to show her. Um, and the poor girl saw the plane go around a couple times. And as soon as I said I lost the signal, they thought I was kidding. They thought I was just BSing and fooling them. Unfortunately, I was not kidding. I had really lost the signal twice. The second time was just it was. Um, I'm gonna chalk it up. I'm expecting a total loss, 100%. Nothing salvageable. Everything's got to go. Battery's gonna be towed. I know oh my god, that's another thing. That was my brand new 5,000 HRB. Oh, sorry, 6,000. Brand new. The first flight on it. Oh, man. So I made myself a new rule. Never, from this point forward, never again will I ever put a brand new battery in a plane that I have changed something on, and I'm revamped it, and it's basically like a maiden all over again. Was it a maiden flight? No. I flew that thing on 8S. I don't know how many times. Countless times, you guys. I've got like 4 videos on my YouTube channel of me flying it. Thing flies great. It was flying awesome. The thing was flying so good, and I really wanted to put that information out to you guys. The point of that video of me recording the plane on the 6S was because I wanted to give you my honest opinion if the 8S was any better or more efficient or faster. In the short amount of time that I had the plane up, you guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, it didn't feel much different. Didn't feel much different, actually, at all. Um, so I don't know what to tell you guys. 8S, is it worth it? No, I don't think so, because you're you're totally screwing the power that you get because of the weight that you're adding. Um, and not to mention the plane actually felt lighter on its feet. It actually felt more nimble. You know, I noticed that the low rate was like perfect for it. I immediately got in low rate elevator, mid rate aileron, perfect. Um, and then I was in the middle of a bank, and she stayed there like almost in a knife edge. I was like, I just lost the signal to this plane. So I put my radio up in the air real fast, and boom, it came around. I was like, oh my god, I gotta land this thing immediately, like now, now, now. So I held the radio up in the air, I kept it way up there, just so I wouldn't lose the signal again. I got it as close as I possibly could to me. Um, I went around the backside. What I should have done was I should have just cut everything and brought that thing right to my feet. Learn from your lessons, guys. Learn from your mistakes. The next time that happens, I am not going to try to get even a half a circuit out of it. If the plane's coming towards me, I don't care how far it goes to whichever way. I'm going to put it down gently somewhere. Learn my lesson, you guys. I learned my lesson this time. Today was a really bad day. I probably could have taken the 262 out and flown it and gotten you guys a decent video. But honestly, I think that today there was some bad fucking juju going around, you guys. Like I could feel it. I could feel that something wasn't right. And I don't know if it was the company that I brought with me. I don't know if it was the fact that I didn't have Kyle or my wife with me. They're kind of like good luck charms for me. Um, Things felt different from the start. To start to finish, it blew my mind, you guys. I will figure out a way to incorporate that Stinger crash somehow into a video. I was actually going to put it on the maiden flight of the Joker Scheme T-33. Unfortunately, we had a little mishap with that, and we also have that recorded as well. So I'm thinking tomorrow I'll probably, until I can get a new retract for that T-33, I'm probably going to take out the Zero and the Super Saber, you guys. I know after a day like this, a smart person probably wouldn't do any flying tomorrow. I'm relentless though, you guys. I don't let anything stop me. I persevere in everything. I don't let something like losing a plane or crashing a plane or anything like that. I don't let that stop me. If I need to stay every time I do that, I'll take like a month or so off. I need to stay on top of this, stay in the saddle, so that way. Just a bad day, you guys. I mean, it happens to everybody. Just a bad day. It's just a shame the way it all happened. It sucked. Nobody likes losing a plane. But if I had to lose a plane in my hangar, if I absolutely had to watch a plane just completely just explode, well, I guess the Stinger 90 is a good candidate for that one because, I mean, the Stinger 9. Don't get me wrong, the Stinger 90 is a nice plane, you guys, but I would have been a lot more bent out of shape had it been like the MiG-17 or the Tiger Cat or even the F-100. I think I would have actually been more upset if I crashed this Dynam PT-17. Yeah, you guys. So I'm going to go back out tomorrow, you guys. I mean, I want to get out there first thing in the morning, first daylight. It snowed a little bit. It's probably another reason why I couldn't see where the plane was. It was probably right there in front of me somewhere, but the whole ground had been coated with a little thin layer of snow, so everything turned white. I'm looking for a white plane on a white ground, so that's all melted away now. I should be able to get a vantage point on one of the hills, like the big giant hills of rocks, and kind of look down and see where it's at. Worst case scenario, it's going to be in 100 pieces. There's nothing salvageable. Well, best case scenario, when that thing dove down, I'm hoping that it caught the tree line and got stuck in a tree. That's the best case scenario. If I walk down that tree line and I see it stuck in a tree, you guys, then it wasn't such a bad day after all. Sorry, hold on. Let me wipe my camera off, you guys. I see there's a few of you guys in here. Yeah, let me go back in these comments. I'm going to go back in these comments a little bit, guys. Okay, guys, 2 are going to get fixed, and I flew my F4 Sunday. Man, the F4 scares me, man, especially the free-wing one. I watched my buddy Eric at our flying field maiden his, and he had a hell of a time with that thing. It made me real nervous to even think about getting one. I think he had his battery too far back. Pilot Ryan, hey dudes. Pilot Ryan, what are you doing, bro? I had a shitty day of flying attempts. That's what I call them. Today was a good day of flying attempts. She got to see the best part, JK. What's he referring to? Cool, LJ. Glad you recovered something from it. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Got listening. What it had to say about low voltage on transmitter when I lost signal. I had 7.7 on. Who was that? Was that fucking Roy? Oh, Alan Gentry. Alan, well, what radio system are you using? Like, what brand is it? Is it Spectrum? Is it Tactic? Because 7.7 on my Tactic, or on the 7.7 on my Spectrum. I mean, that's almost a full battery, because like 8.0 to like 8.2, that's a completely full battery. I'm actually curious, Alan. Get back to me on that. What do you got for me? I'm curious now. Dave, I took 2 planes to fly and crashed them both. It happens. What? It was a Spectrum. Last time about when it lost the signal on the PC-17. Remember DS9? Right. Bro, Alan, after today, I was actually going to suggest to you to double check your voltage because literally, guys, the only reason I lost the Stinger 90 was pilot error. If I would have done a more thorough range test and had the radio in my hand and I was looking down a bit more, I would have noticed that the radio was at 5.1 volts, and I would have never taken off with that plane. I wouldn't even have used one. I wouldn't even have flown one of my 64 millimeter jets with a plane with a radio with that tactic radio at 5.1. It's not a good idea, you guys. I've lost signals periodically at 5.2 and 5.1. So I told myself a long time ago, if I'm not at least at a 5.3 or higher with this tactic, and just the 850, the 650 is different. The 650 you can actually go like down to 4.8 and it's solid. But for whatever reason, I don't know, the Tactic 850 doesn't have an antenna. If you look at the top of an 850, there's no antenna there, and that I don't know. It kind of makes me think that the range is different per voltage. Like so, the Tactic 650, it's got this nice antenna where you can go either way, both sides. And you can go like 4.8, which is, I think that's the lowest you want to be. Typically, you want to be around 5.0 with that one. Or 5.0 or higher. That's real safe. Man. Alan, dude, that's right. I remember you saying that. 7.7, you didn't lose signal because, you didn't lose your signal because of the radio then. You didn't lose the signal to your receiver. I'm almost thinking that something else happened, man. I think maybe you had a bad BEC, because I think there's a built-in internal BEC in those. I don't know, man. The way you describe it, it almost sounds like something shorted out real quick, browned the plane out, and you lost it that way. But there's no telling, dude. There's really no honest way of being able to tell. The only reason I know why I lost signal to that plane today was because I looked down and saw the voltage at 5.1. That is a huge no-no with that 850. You never, ever fly a plane when it's at a 5.1. That was stupid. That was stupid and neglectful on my part. To be honest with you, I'm just glad it was that Stinger 90. I'm just really glad it was a Stinger 90 and not one of my other planes. I'm coming in on the backswing, but it appears something crashed. Yeah, actually, yeah, apparently a lot of things crashed. My Stinger 90 is probably either A, lucky and stuck in the top of a tree, or B, super unlucky and it's a complete loss. At about 150 feet up in the air, when I lost control of it, went straight up and then came straight down. So I don't know, it was probably going a good like 70 miles an hour when it hit the ground. I don't know, guys, I'm not sure. Probably about 70-80 miles an hour. It's only foam, you guys. Lost my Arctic Raptor to a tree today. It must have been in the air. David, that's what I'm gonna go with, bro. I'm gonna agree with you on that, and I'm just gonna go with you on that. Honestly, that's what it felt like to me today. Losing the Stinger, I was like, it's no big deal. I'll go check it out, see where it's at. Maybe, I'm not worried about it. I don't care. But then when I took the T-33 and rolled out and went to take off, and she rolled the way she did on me, like literally the first thing that popped in my mind before I even went and checked the plane out to see if it was okay was, something's not right today. Something is just not right. No. I did the right thing. I was actually going to fly my 262, and right as I was getting ready to make the decision whether I was going to take it out of the truck or not, my hand reached over and hit the button for my auto trunk. It's like I wasn't controlling my hand. Something pushed that button for me. Got in the truck, came home. And like I said, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I don't care. It's if, like I said, if it was something else, something like literally, if it was any of my other planes, I would have been upset. But that plane, that was a project plane. That was a project plane that I needed to throw a nice 8S system that I had, and I needed something to put it in. I found a Stinger 90R in the scratch and dent, and got it like mad cheap. So it wasn't that big of a loss, you guys. So not mad. I'm not upset. Like I said, I'm just puzzled and confused at why, why today, why, why. Isn't that the answer? That's the question always, right? It's always why. Why? Why for the Stinger 90? Because the radio was too low on batteries. But then you do the T-33, which is a brand new plane. It should be perfect. I watched so many of those flying at Jet Jams. I watched Dave Kowalski's video that I did a video of Dave Kowalski flying his. So I actually went back and watched the video to see right where he put his battery. I set it up exactly the way Dave Kowalski had his. I had my throws exactly the way he did. My servos went wacky, dude. I don't understand why my servos did my flap servos did that. Don't get it. Everything's plugged in exactly where it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The blue box, bro. I'm telling you, man. Kenny's right, man. I don't know. They put "In God We Trust" on the dollar bill, right? On our money, on our currency, right? Well, when it comes to RC, it should be "In Bus Driver We Trust." So, if Kenny says the blue boxes are, hey, Kenny knows all, man. Honestly, when my plane did that, it immediately made me think, wow, if this same exact thing happened to Kenny's plane, but while his was up in the air, it would have done exactly what he described in the way it crashed. So Kenny, I think by flying my plane today and witnessing what it did, pretty much just showed me and told me the story of what happened to yours. I'll be bypassing the blue box, by the way. So yeah, that's what we do here anyways. I usually always bypass the blue box and go right into the receiver. I don't know why I decided to use the blue box on this plane in particular. Don't know. I usually bypass the blue box and only use like the throttle, throttle gear and flaps. Everything else right into my radio, right into the receiver. Just a bad day, guys. Bad day. I'm not, like I said, I'm not down. I'm good. Eric, I don't need to vent, bro. So I'm venting right now, dude. I don't want to, it is what it is, bro. That's what we do. That's why we do this. And shit happens sometimes, right? So you got to take the good with the bad. And in 7 years, I've never had an incident quite like this one today. So if I can get away with going another 7 years without another bad incident, I guess I'm doing something right, guys. So, I broke a mirror last year, but I haven't gotten any bad luck because of that broken mirror. So I don't think it was the broken mirror from last year. I think somebody forgot about the broken mirror. So I don't think it was the broken mirror. I did. I broke the shit out of a mirror last year. Complete accident. GB, what did you do? Kenny, what did you do to GB? Is everything okay in the chat? Are you guys alright? Please, guys, no good vibes in the chat, guys. GB, it will be George. Hopefully you guys are getting along. Kevin. GB, we want an extra show. GB, oh shit, GB, my bad, dude. What time is it? Okay, I checked to see if Hamilton's Hangar was live. you know, you guys know I'm very courteous, you know. You guys know that. I'm very courteous and I don't step on toes. I checked Shay's channel and he wasn't live. And then I immediately went over to GB's and saw he wasn't live. I don't know what I did. Hanger 51, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What you did? What are you guys talking about? Kenny does a lot of things. You have to be more specific. I'm hearing more and more people only going with landing gear control with the blue box. Bro, it's I've done that from the very beginning. So pretty much when they started introducing those blue boxes, it was right around the time when that V2 F16 came out. So the very first V2 they came out with didn't have the upgraded retracts, and was in just the gray scheme. There was the camo scheme hadn't come out yet. So this is a while ago. This is 6 years ago, something like that. I bought the plane immediately when it dropped. Then soon, right after, they offered an upgraded retract set for it. Immediately bought it and upgraded the retracts. Definitely was going to need the upgraded retracts, especially on the grass that I fly off of. Then I started seeing in Hobby Squawk and on YouTube and comments and stuff like that. Somebody actually left a comment on that video for me. They're like, bro, be careful of the blue box. Caution, caution, caution. They're failing left and right. Caution, caution, caution. Also, check your rudder servos. Apparently, a lot of rudder servos are not working for whatever reason. And what's messed up is he was right. Like 4 planes in a row, you guys. The L-39, the Abani, the Stinger 90, and I can't remember what the other one was, but 4 planes in a row, back to back to back to back to back. Every one of them had a blown out rudder servo. No bullshit. I swear to God, I'm not fibbing. 4 planes in a row, I had a blown rudder servo. What are the odds? 4 planes, 3 sport planes, 4 planes, 1 military jet. I can't remember what it was. No, it was a Warbird. Never mind. But yeah, guys, 4 rudder servos on back-to-back planes. Oh, you know which one it was? It was the A6 Intruder that I just sent to Eric. I put a new servo in the rudder, and that servo started acting up. So, anyways, I got the comment, hey, you know, bypass the blue box, only use like throttle, gear, flaps, something, you know, no controllable surfaces, period. ... I'm like, I wonder why. So, I actually started plugging in the blue box, doing everything that the book told me to do. I fired the plane up, and bullshit you not, man. Those ailerons started twitching back and forth. The rudder started twitching, and I was like, "What is going on with this plane? This is not right." So I unplugged everything, plugged it back in, and then all of a sudden, I didn't have any elevator. It was plugged in, had no elevator control. The flaps wouldn't work, and I said, "You know what? To hell with it." I grabbed a bunch of Y harnesses. I grabbed a 3-headed Y harness for the gear, plugged it all up the old-fashioned way. Put my gyro in it, put my receiver in it, put a 6S pack in it, started it back up, and everything worked flawlessly. And I said right then and there, I'm just not going to trust it. I'm not going to trust it. You're putting a lot of faith in something that you have, you know, it's just... And I know it's hit or miss, you guys. I know it's like, you know, this guy probably has 8 planes and he uses the blue box and everyone. Way over the rainbow, way up high. You know you can't call me in the middle of a stream, right? My bad, guys. My phone died. I'm telling you, it's one of them days. I'm telling you that right now. So sorry about that, you guys. I was just about ready to call it quits because GB. I'm sure GB's gonna start here pretty soon. I'm not sure. I have tonight off bowling, so I was gonna jump in with to GB's show. I was actually able to watch it last week too. I just didn't say anything in the chat because I was watching a movie. Yeah, sorry about that. What's cool is if I'm on my phone and the phone dies, it actually stops the stream right where we were, and then it gives me the option to resume from where we were. So sorry guys, sorry about that. Just it's just like you guys just you seen it right there for yourselves. It's just been one of those days. One of those days. Hopefully tomorrow things are better. One thing that can make this day a better day tomorrow is if I find that Stinger 90 stuck in a tree and the damage is actually minimal. That will be a best case scenario. I don't think that's probable though. We're like talking maybe like a 5% chance that that's probable. John Graham, we love the Rainbow Song. We love the Rainbow Song. Oh, so you got that's my ringtone. You guys are probably wondering why the hell has David got Judy Garland over the Rainbow Song on his ringtone? Well, that was actually my Grandma Thurman's favorite song ever. Favorite movie, favorite song. Second favorite movie was In a League of Their Own. Avoid the Clap, Jimmy Dugan. You guys will always hear me say that from time to time. And that's because I used to sit there with my grandmother before she died and watched Wizard of Oz. Then we'd watch A League of Their Own. And then we would watch Wizard of Oz. And then we would watch A League of Their Own again. Those were her two favorite movies because A League of Their Own, that was actually the time when the guys got called off to war. And they started an all-women's league so that baseball didn't lose their profits. That was also the time when my grandfather got selected to play for the Red Sox. It was all pro baseball players were getting called off to war. He was old and already did his military time, like in his 40s or something. But he could still pitch a baseball like 87, 88 miles an hour, which was pretty good for back then. So, yeah. My grandpa Thurman, Bill Thurman, played first base and pitcher for the Red Sox. Which was pretty cool. So that's why my grandmother likes watching that movie. It reminds her of my grandfather. I'm gonna check to make sure we're good here. We've got 11 people in here. Check the chat real quick. You guys, when does GB go live? Okay, John Graham, what did you crash? Okay, I crashed my Stinger 90. Why I crashed it was I didn't check the voltage in my radio before I took off. It was far too low to take off. With that particular radio and battery, you want the radio to be about 5.3 or higher voltage. When I looked down at the radio after I lost the signal, I looked down, it was at 5.0. Which means I probably started the flight at like 5.1. That's what happens when you don't do a range check before you start. I didn't do a good enough range check, because had I had done a good thorough range check, I would have looked down at that radio at least one time and noticed that the voltage was low. So shame on me, guys. That's, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna let it get me down though, guys. I'm gonna go find that plane, whatever condition it's in. I don't care. Sorry, lots of bird. Hope you find her in the morning. That's all I care about. I just hope I find her. The EDF and the ESC in that thing are brand new. I just bought it. I just bought them to put in that plane. Um, the receiver, the BS2X gyro. What else? Let's see. Honestly, if the thing hit the ground whatsoever, period, at all, the way it was nosing in, the battery's toast, you guys. I mean, there's a good chance that even if it did go into a tree, the force of the battery pulling against the nose probably ripped the nose clean off the plane anyhow. That's usually what happens when you crash a plane into a tree and it's not reinforced very good. The nose will just rip off because of the battery weight. So we looked at the video, the crash video, one more time before I left. I was actually, the whole time I was searching for that plane, I was way off. I was way to the right. I should have been way further over to the left. And what's cool is over to the left, there's a lot of trees. Lots of trees, you guys. Evergreens that are very soft. Lots of branches. That would be the best case scenario, guys. If I find that plane in a tree with minimal damage, I don't know. Oh, here you go, guys. I'll do this for you. If I find the plane totaled, I'll take the power system if it's still good and put it in something else. If I find the plane and it's in an okay condition, minimal damage, it can be cosmetically fixed in some way, I will give it away on the channel. I will give it to someone on the channel. And I'm not going to do a drawing for it. I'm going to pick somebody that I feel as though needs a plane, deserves a plane, and has been a subscriber for a while. So obviously like a George Watts and a Nate Kugel and a Ray, Dave Marshall. I mean, all those guys that have all, actually no, I'll include Dave Marshall in there. He doesn't have that big of a hanger. But I'm aiming towards someone who actually needs it. So yeah, that's what I'll do. If I find it in decent shape, I'm gonna give it away. If it's destroyed and there's really nothing to salvage out of it, I'll cannibalize it and I'll put it in something else. So you guys cross your fingers and pray tonight that I find that damn plane in a tree somewhere and it's not all that beat up and it's not all that bad. Because if that's the case, I will legitimately name a person tomorrow. I'll make a list and I'll just, I don't know, I'll throw a dart at the, I don't know, I'll do something. But I want to make it fair. You know you can't call me while I'm streaming, right?
Go live any minute.
So he's gonna go live early? I thought he went
10 o'clock. Well, because I'll explain to you what happened. Shay is actually on his way to Ohio right now, so he actually went live earlier today for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So, and with the holiday and Shay not being live, GB is going live early. You did not know that, so I was trying to get your attention, and I knew I couldn't call you because you were on your phone doing the show, but John, I didn't. With you talking, I couldn't get you to look at the chat, so I was trying to get your attention. I'm sorry.
You guys, Garrett is actually Master Chief Garrett, aka my father. He's actually in the chat right now. So, Dad, actually, I was just telling everyone in the community that we had a pretty bad day. We had a pretty unsuccessful day of flying today. It's the worst thing. It's the worst day in RC I've had ever. I lost the signal to one of my planes because I foolishly did not check my battery voltage in my radio. You would think that if you grow up the son of a maintenance master chief on aviation aircraft, S3s, E2s, God, I can't even Seahawks, that could fix it. You would think the son of a master chief would know better and do his reflight shit a little bit better. My radio voltage was just way too low, Dad, and I ended up losing a plane today. Not like it was not one of my sentimental ones, not one of my you know whatever. It's just a whatever, but um, the fact that it was my fault that I lost it, that's my issue here. But I did just promise the community. Eric, did you hear me? I promised the community that if I found it in decent shape, I'd give it away.
Yeah.
So I want you to make a list of people in the community that usually come in on the regular that we both know probably don't have a lot of planes.
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning towards one of the boys, Christopher, Flaps, Nathaniel.
Well, Flaps and Ethan already have the F-22 coming to them.
Yep.
Well, Ethan does. Flaps doesn't.
Ethan has the Raptor coming.
Yes.
Okay, so throw Flaps on there. Throw Wreck and Roy on there because he doesn't have a very big list. Throw yourself on there because you don't have a very big list.
Well, Battle, I'll tell you what. I've been very fortunate with everybody with what they've given me recently between getting that EC15 and getting some money from this past month's drawing because the person opted to have some of it sent to me. I don't have to be on the list.
I told you that in some way, shape, or form, it would benefit you being my friend, didn't I?
Yep.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, dude.
I know you are. That's why I said that sarcastically.
Coming from the guy who's eating pecan pie without a fork.
Or teeth.
Or teeth. Who the hell needs those?
So, Robert, thank you, because I'm reading the chat. Thank you, buddy.
What did Robert say?
Well, he said brand new $400 plane and some other stuff recently, including some stuff you're sending me. I think someone else that has a lot less than me can use it.
I take care of Eric. I take care of Eric pretty good, so.
Well, we take care of each other, so you don't have to worry too much.
He provides a service for me, and when I have a plane that I don't want anymore, I pretty much kind of give it away. I don't know if you guys have watched his channel, but he actually just received a plane from me not too long ago. It's an A6 Intruder, probably one of my favorite naval planes.
Or that's your dad too, though.
I don't know if my dad. Man, something wants me to say that he worked on A6s, but I honestly think it was no, I think I'm wrong, dude. I think it was the S3s my dad worked on.
That's a cool plane too. That's one plane I think would be cool. RC plane.
Yeah, I know.
Flying Hoover.
I'm sure at some point my dad probably has done something on an A6. But I wanna say that his job as a senior chief or a chief was S3s, and I know that he worked on the E2s for a while, which was also a really cool plane, by the way.
A2C Hawkeye.
Yeah, the E2, man. That's the satellite plane. That's the
They're the Navy's AWACS.
Yeah, it's AWACS, naval AWACS. So but I know when he finished his career, he went completely different. He went back on sea duty, went out to San Diego, and they stuck him on the Helos, so the Seahawk, which is basically like the naval version of our Blackhawks that we had in the Army.
It is.
Right?
They're actually the Blackhawks they use in the Army now, unless they're older model, they're keeping around, with the exception of the tail gear being different. On the naval version, are basically naval versions now. They're what's basically a Super Hawk. Instead of the 1,500 horsepower they had per engine when they first came out, it's more like 2,000 horsepower, and it's it looks like a Black Hawk, but it's basically a completely different helicopter, being the Super Hawk.
So check this out, dude. I remember one time my dad took us to the hangar, right? And it was right around Christmas time, and usually he would, if he was going to take us kids for a ride, it was usually he would take one. He'd never take all of us, you know what I mean? So we were all kind of thinking, what's going on? He actually, I swear to God, no bullshit. I actually met Santa Claus that day, and apparently his reindeer probably were like, probably like grazing out somewhere. His sled was being worked on like at the shop or something because like Santa Claus got dropped off in an S3 or whatever the Seahawk, whatever. And I don't know if I'm right, but that Santa Claus looked an awful dad. I don't I don't know. It could have been you, Dad, right? I don't know if that was you or not, but kind of had your jawline. You know what I'm saying? You might have had Brandon fooled, but you didn't have me fooled. No, it was pretty cool. My dad actually he got to be Santa Claus that year. The Seahawk came flying in there like out of nowhere, bro. Like you're looking out the hangar doors. There's no nothing. You can't even hear anything. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hear a helo come down. Boom! He jumped out. That thing is out of there, man. It's pretty cool. Like I got to see some pretty cool shit that my dad did while he was in the service, man. The benefits of being the son of a Master Chief.
Well, I'll tell you one, 2 or 3 helicopters. Yes, John Graham. The latest, the R&S's are the same as the Army Bird. It's just earlier models of the Black Hawk weren't. The airframe was the same, but that was about it. The latest models of the Black Hawk and the Navy are basically the same. Just usually the tail wheel is different.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. From what I remember of those Seahawks that my dad used to work on, to when I went into the Army and I got close to a Black Hawk, I mean, honestly, bro, it's like you want a cup of water, or a glass of water. I mean, I think honestly, I would have had to have had them side by side to notice any differences.
A lot of it is mission driven now. A lot of the standards are the same now.
My dad would actually be able to tell you the difference between a Seahawk and a Black Hawk.
I could too.
And it's probably
it looks like John Graham here in the chat could too, because it sounds like.
Isn't it like attachment points? Like the Black Hawk has more attachment points for like laser guided stuff, unguided rockets, machine guns. I don't know if the Seahawk has those anchor points like the Black Hawk does.
Well, your dad or John Graham looks like could tell us.
Also, I want to say that the Black Hawk to me maybe seemed a little bit wider than the Seahawk. For whatever reason, I remember the Seahawk and it was a little bit more slender than the Black Hawk, I want to say. But other than that, man, it's a helo, and
well, I'll tell you this.
They're pretty badass.
They sound similar, if not the same. And the one thing I will never forget the sound of is the C-130, a Black Hawk, and an Apache. Because I was around those all day, every day when I was deployed. So
when the towers got hit, and I had to, as an emergency transfer or to get back to my post, I had to take because all commercial flights were grounded. So I had to take a hot flight all the way from Disneyland where I was on leave, all the way back to Fort Leonard Wood, and then as soon as I got to Fort Leonard Wood, I had to get on another hot flight to go to Washington, and then from Washington on another hot flight to go up to Alaska. And bro, let me tell you something. Every one of those flights was on either a quad engine prop or a twin engine prop, and it's not fun. It's just like the vibration seriously almost like starts to make you nauseous after a while. You sit on a bench seat that just folds down off the side of the wall, and it's just straight wood. So you've developed a bad case of hemorrhoids by the time you get home, and your ears don't work very well anymore. Yeah, hot flights suck. I remember my dad talking about it years ago that he had to take some hot flights, and he would.
You know why?
I think he pretty much said the same thing.
It's not just the vibration of the motors and stuff. It's the concussion of the rotor blades spinning through the air.
Yeah, I think I had a concussion, all right. Yeah, man, it's just you gotta put your headphones in and just you can still feel the vibration, but the noise goes away when you put your headphones in. The vibration's not so bad.
Yeah, but it's physically bombarding you too. It's not just hearing; it's physically bombarding you.
Yeah, you kind of like mind over matter. You put your headphones in, put your music on, and then just lean up against the side and just pretend that you're in a vibrating chair that does massages.
Well, it's like when you're around a top fuel dragster or jet dragster, like.
I tried. It didn't work for me.
So when you're meeting. Already.
I had to go live because I was gonna post a video and I was thinking, those 2 clips that I got today of just complete failure honestly deserves a video of its own that's kind of edited in with maybe some planes that actually flew. So
actually, he is live, Battle.
Is he live? Hey guys,
yeah.
I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I have nothing but respect for all the people in the community, and it's his scheduled time to go live. I will meet you guys over at the GB Linden show. You guys have a good day. Fly free or die. Me and Eric are out of here, guys. Have a wonderful night. Peace. Thanks for stopping by, Pop. You should stop by more often, Dad. Don't be a goddamn stranger, you old fart. Get your ass in here. I'm tired of this sporadic shit where you just come in whenever you feel like it, motherfucker. Get your ass in here. You see, turn on your goddamn notification bell, and if you see I'm going live, come in. That's right. Yeah, I just told you what to do for once in 40 years. No, seriously, man. Don't be a fucking stranger, man. Love you, man. Later. See you guys later, guys. Have a good night.